Coming to you live from the Shardspire Mountains, this is Optimal Play, and I am Brandon, still indoors hiding from the hot sun today, drinking a seltzer and playing some Deck of Wonders, which if you haven't watched my last playthrough of it or just had trouble following because I have a habit of being a fast talker when I'm alone in these solo game videos, it is a card combat game primarily for one player, where you play against a variety of villains who use the same deck of cards, playing them either upside down or right side up for different effects depending on who draws them. It's designed by Dennis Furia and has gorgeous art by Lauren Brown. They are both two great people who I got to know during some remote interviews and things during the pandemic, which are still up on the channel if you want to check them out. And this has been back in my head because as of the time that I'm probably going to publish this video, the expansion to Deck of Wonders Master of Dungeons is on crowdfunding now. So check the, I'm sure I'll put a link to that in the description. Check it out if this game looks interesting to you. At the end of my last playthrough, where I defeated the second villain in the game actually is a little bit, excuse me, let me set this drink down. The game is kind of linear, as you're supposed to fight the villains one after another, and you play multiple games against them, trying to not only defeat them, but meet certain objectives along the way, which lets you open some legacy-style envelopes that add some more content, some twists to the kind of the scenarios. That said, I decided to just open up the third villain who I've never played before in the name of content, and I am glad I did, because this is Byzantus, the Enthraller, and he seems to be kind of by far the most different and unique sort of scenario in Deck of Wonders that I have seen. He had me, set up the deck a little bit differently. There are 4 copies of a card called Dominated Summoners. They are shuffled into the top roughly 2/3 of the deck, which I guess is just to guarantee that they don't all get stuck at the bottom. But I'm burying the lead here. Those Dominated Summoners are minions that they can come out for either player, and if they are defeated, they go back on top of the deck so that I will have the opportunity to draw them, like if he plays them as minions and I defeat them. But the win condition is not to attack the boss like it usually is. It's to have all 4 of those Dominated Summoners in play and ready on my side. So where we would have kind of a 30 health tracker, like we did for Aurora, Byzantus just has this tracker, which honestly, it's fine, I guess, that they printed a health tracker, but it seems it's like a binary win condition of do you have all 4 of them in play or not. I'm not sure that we needed a way to track it, but it's still a cool little curio to have on the table. So I am about to draw my opening hand, but before I do, let me just suggest that you like the video. I would love it, and I bet you would too. Subscribe to the channel too. We at Optimal Play don't have a Patreon or anything. We're just doing this for the love of the hobby and trying to grow the channel. So anything you do to juice us in that YouTube algorithm, it's the best and only way to help us out. So we appreciate it. With that, I am playing with Byzantus's stock deck, with kind of his third of the core set, plus the 28 cards that you must always use when you play with him. You can construct the deck in this game, but I haven't done so here. I'm just playing with the defaults. The interesting thing about kind of the deck construction here is that since both you and the villain use the same cards, you're not really... deck construction is almost like, doesn't mean the same thing as it means in other games. You're sort of creating a new scenario. It's sort of like you can do some game design here almost. You could tilt it in your favor if you think that there are combinations of cards that are better for you than they are for the villain if the villain draws them. But you also could kind of just decide like, oh, I want to try throw all of the biggest minions into this deck and see if I can beat it, just to have like a very different flavor to the way the game plays out. So, you know, you can come up with a dozen ideas, I'm sure, for just how to customize sort of the scenario, which is really what you're doing. Kind of cool. Anyway, I'm going to start with 4 cards. I can mulligan them, but I am playing blind here, unfamiliar with this Byzantus deck, so I feel like I'm unlikely to mulligan them. But let's check these out. I have 2 copies of this minion, Elixir Addict. Has 2 attack, 1 health, The cost is to discard a card, but when you play it, you draw one, so you cycle a card. And it says if this is the only minion in play, it has poison. Destroy any minion this deals damage to. That seems pretty good for just a first to just play that and sit back, maybe. I do have one of the dominated summoners. This is a 0 attack, 3 health minion. When you play it, you draw a card. Okay. And then on death, it deals 2 damage to the player. Okay, so playing them early draws you cards, and then they can go to the top of the deck where you can get them back again, but they hurt you when they die. And then the last thing I have is the Mountain Troll. Okay, that confirms what I suspected after the second scenario had trolls, that each scenario, which is set in like kind of the forest, the desert, and the mountains respectively, they each have a troll. So the cost on this one is to discard a card, and on death, it destroys the lowest priority player minion. Oh, so it's a 3/6. It's huge. But if it dies, it takes another one of your minions with it. I'm sort of seeing a theme already with these 2 cards where you get rewarded for just having 1 minion in play, which is tough when the objective is to have 4 dominated summoners in play. So figure out how to sort through that. Let's recap here. Okay, not done with you yet. When a dominated summoner is destroyed or discarded, put it on top of the draw pile. So if I discard it to play this troll or something, then Byzantus will play it on the next turn because it'll be on top of the deck. That's really interesting. When he plays it, it's a 1/3 that draws him another card, so it's not great for me to just throw it on top of the deck for him knowingly. But I do think that this Mountain Troll is going to just be a really good way to either take out some of his opening minions or soak up a lot of their damage, maybe trade for all of them. So I'm going to play it. It's going to come into play exhausted, and it costs me a card to pay for it. So that's my turn. Now for the first villain turn, he's going to draw 3 cards. They are Enthrall Enemy. This is a spell that says move the highest... Oh, no. Move the highest priority player minion into the villain's play area exhausted. Any spell effects on the minion must be discarded. Well... Now he has my exhausted Mountain Troll. That went terribly. Let's try the second card. Prisoner Exchange. Swap a villain minion and a player minion in the play area. Draw 1. I'm guessing I need to have a minion for that, so this does nothing. That's how I'm going to play it because that feels the most fair, even though I would love for that to just send the Mountain Troll back to me. He still has 2 cards coming because that said draw 1. It's another copy of that. It says to draw 1, so still 2 cards coming. Canine Companion. Oh, it's another dog! Not a corgi, but I'll still take it. Very cute. On the villain side, it's a mean dog. It says place this card onto a villain minion. Oh, it's a spell. Okay. That minion has +1 health and strength, doesn't change base health, and draw 1. We're still drawing 2 more cards. They are another Canine Companion. I guess I can have 2 of them. Prisoner Exchange, there's no swap. Another Canine Companion. I wonder if I shuffled this deck well enough. A Crystal Golem. It's a 2/2, and on death, restore villain health equal to the damage this minion took. That doesn't really do much for a Byzantus, so that's good for us. 1 more draw still. Pixie Assassin. On play, destroy a player minion with 1 base health. Well, and it's a 1/2. These are both going to attack me, so 3 damage to me. Part of me thinks that this is real bad, but I think I see a route at least to deal with the troll. So it's back to my turn. I've drawn a Prisoner Exchange. Ooh, well that changes things quite a bit. I was going to just throw a poison minion in front of it, but this seems better. I am going to play a dominated summoner. It lets me draw 1. And then I will Prisoner Exchange. Swap a player minion and a villain minion in the play area. So Mountain Troll is back on my side, and the dominated summoner goes over to Byzantus, doing him a lot less good. I have 3 +1/+1s on this mountain troll. I guess when it comes to my side, well, yeah, it has the same attack and health. I'm wondering if I should have flipped it when it was on the villain side, and whether I should be flipping these now. Do they do the same thing? It's the same thing, +1/+1. Okay, so now I have this, and it doesn't say that it is exhausted. So I just have this 6/9 mountain troll. That's pretty cool. And then I don't see why I would play anything else, right? I have an Elixir Addict, but it only has poison if it's my only minion. And I have a Canine Companion, but I don't need to make this bigger than it already is. So I think I'll just attack with Mountain Troll. We have... Oh, let me put this Dominated Summoner, yeah, I guess on its villain side, so it's a 1/3. I think I just want to take out the Crystal Golem, take the most attack power off the table that I can, so it'll attack that. Troll doesn't die in return, and that worked out well for me. Hopefully no more... Have we... Fun fact, there's exactly 4 copies of each card in this deck. Have we seen all the prisoner exchanges? We have. I at least know that it's not going to swap back. There is that Enthrall enemy that could make it steal this. How did that... I'm looking at the discard pile now. Move the highest priority player minion. Oh, okay, so the only way that I can prevent that is to play something that is higher priority, and the other options in the hand were not. So I guess I just hope that it doesn't get drawn. We have another Pixie Assassin. When this is played, it destroys a player minion with 1 base health, but my only minion has 6 base health. The issue, though, still, is that now these, because they cannot collectively destroy my minion, they don't just charge into it, they attack my face instead. So 1, 2, 3 damage to me puts me at 24. And here's my turn. An Avalanche. The cost, this is a cost I've never seen before. The cost is, this must be the only card you play this turn. And it says destroy all minions on both sides. That feels pretty bad to me right now, but I will keep that in mind for if he steals my Mountain Troll back. So I think I want to play nothing again, and I will attack a Pixie Assassin. Do I want to play nothing? Yeah, because this Elixir Addict only has 1 health. If I could get a second, you know, like a 2/3 or something in play, something that could help me take these out faster, I would absolutely be doing that, but none of my cards do. So I think the play is just to attack with a Mountain Troll. I will take out a Pixie Assassin and ready up and pass the turn to the villain, who will draw Necromancer. It's a 1/3. If a minion is on top of the discard at the start of the battle lines phase, move it into play exhausted. Okay. That's pretty rough. All right. Yeah, she's gonna do that. So it's the battle lines phase now. That's where I decide the order that the that both of our that the attacks will happen in. The order isn't going to matter much because they have to add up to 9 attack in order to attack my troll and take it out. So instead, she is just going to return the Pixie Assassin to play exhausted. I am backsliding here. And then they're all going to attack me for 1 each, because they all have 1 strength. So I'm down to 21. I definitely need a more substantial minion. Well, I drew my own Necromancer. On the player side, this minion may, instead of attacking, exhaust and trade places with a minion on top of the discard pile. The Crystal Golem would help me clear out some of these minions. There's a Crystal Golem on top of the discard pile right now. But this has to survive a turn for me to get to do that, I guess. So we will see what my options are later. That's going to interplay exhausted, and I will just attack with my Mountain Troll, take out their Necromancer for sure. So that's now what's on top of the discard. But okay. The villain's card is a Crystal Golem, a 2/2 that on death restore villain health equal to the damage this minion took. Right. Okay, I would like that. I think that's pretty good for me, because now I can destroy it with my Mountain Troll and then resurrect it with my Necromancer. But for now, they still can't get... My highest priority minion has 9 health. They still can't destroy it, so they're all going to attack my face for 5. I'm at 16. My health is halfway gone, and I don't feel like I'm halfway to victory. The only dominated summoner that's even been drawn has been on the other side. I really have to get the board back so I can survive for a while, because this scenario, you kind of just have to stall out a little bit. You have to draw more of these dominated summoners. That's a problem. Okay, I'm going to ready up and draw my card. Enthrall enemy. This costs me to play, but it says move a minion with 3 or less base health from the play area to your hand. Okay, so I could get this dominated summoner to my hand with that. I think that might be a good play. And then it will stop attacking me for 1 each turn. Well, I'm going to do my attacks first and then decide what I'm going to play. So this mountain troll will attack the crystal golem, easily killing it. Then the necromancer will exhaust to swap places with it, and the crystal golem will be in play exhausted. So now I have this 2/2, which can help me clean up some of these. I like that a lot. And then, well, I could play, I have a copy of Canine Companion in hand. I could give it +1/+1, which would feel good, but I don't know if it's necessary. I might keep that card in hand where it's more flexible. I could maybe pay costs and things with it. So I will pass the turn. Crystal Golem is not the same, or is not higher priority than the Mountain Troll, so they're going to keep attacking my face because they can't kill my Mountain Troll. Oh, another dominated summoner. It's going to interplay for Byzantus, who will draw 1. Oh no! It's the Avalanche. Destroy all player minions, exhaust all villain minions. Oh boy. Okay, well, the Mountain Troll is destroyed. That gravy train stops. The Crystal Golem is also destroyed, and it says on death, restore player health equal to the damage this minion took. So I'm actually going to gain... Oh wait, to the damage it took. No, so it's health, so I don't gain anything here. It's just destroyed. Damn, okay. The silver lining is these were all exhausted. They won't attack me this turn, but I am in trouble. I'll draw my card. I do have my own Avalanche. What does it say on my side? Cost, it has to be the only card you play this turn, but destroy all minions on both sides. I think I have to do it. Right? Yeah, how can I not? Avalanche. It's the only card I can play, but it's going to destroy all minions. So these dominated summoners are going to go on top of the deck. Because of the villain's ability, these ones will be discarded. Yeah, alright. Clean board. Fresh slate. Villain's turn is another dominated summoner. Oh, we knew that. Oh, it's going to draw one. Oh, so he's going to pull them both back out. I didn't think that through, but I don't know if it would have changed my play. And a necromancer. At the start of the battle lines phase, it returns a minion to play if there is one on top of the deck. Luckily, I discarded with the avalanche on top, so that'll be fine. Unluckily, these all attack me. I take 3 damage. Okay, I'm already back in rough shape. I have a minion I haven't seen before. The Sly Doppelganger. It's a 2/2 with X priority. This minion may be considered any priority when drawing battle lines. Okay. I think my play here then, I think I just want all of these minions to trade into it. So it's a 2/2. I think I'm going to play Canine Companion, giving it +1/+1. Now it's a 3/3. And then they will just all trade into it. Yeah, let's try that. Okay. Another dominated summoner. We have 3 of the 4 sort of in the mix now. And then it draws into Pixie Oracle. I haven't seen this. When the villain plays this, look at the top card of the draw pile, then return it to the top of the draw pile. If it was a spell, deal 2 damage to the player. It is the last dominated summoner. Oh, suddenly the route to victory is possible. It was not a spell, so this is just a 1/2. Okay. So, 3 of these are going to trade into my Sly Doppelganger, destroying it, and it's up to me which 3 because I draw the battle lines, putting them in order. Do I want to defeat all the dominated summoners? What that means is that, well, it would mean that they all go on top of the deck. I will draw 1. Each one that I play draws into another one. I would get all 4 of them this way. I just need to not get them killed. I think this could work. Let's try this. So, I'm going to order it like this. There's no minion on top of the discard pile for the Necromancer's ability. So now they're all going to attack. Because the 3 dominated summoners can collectively destroy the Sly Doppelganger. They will, but since it does 3 damage back to each, they all are destroyed as well. And because of the Not Done With You ability on the villain, they're all going to go on top of the deck. And this is defeated. I'm going to make sure not to put a minion on top of the discard pile. And then the Necromancer and the Pixie Oracle are going to attack me for 1 each. I'm at 11. Okay. So, I know I'm drawing a dominated summoner. And I think I just want to play it. So, I play a dominated summoner, it draws a card, and on death it deals 2 to the player. So if if Byzantus draws an avalanche after this, I am in deep trouble because I would take 8 damage if these dominated summoners are in play. And to be clear, I can play them all this turn, but they interplay exhausted, and my objective is to have them all in play ready. So they have to survive a turn. Currently, it looks like they will, but it all depends on what the villain draws. But I think that's my plan, is to take an attempt at it. So I'm going to draw the next dominated summoner, play it, draw the next one, play it, draw the next one, play it, draw 1 more card. It's a mountain troll. That's a pretty good card to be in the way of these, protecting them from being killed on the villain turn. Let's do that. Let's slide these over. It's priority 3, so I'll just put it on the left. Play this mountain troll. It costs 1 card, or there's 1 discard. It'll be this Elixir Addict. It'll be Enthrall Enemy. I also am noticing I have alternate reality. Oh, so I can make sure. Okay, here's what this says. Draw 2, add 1 of the drawn cards to your hand, and put the other back on top of the draw pile. So I can actually make sure, or I can find out what the villain's going to draw. Yeah, I think I've got this. So those 2 cards are a Mountain Troll, which for the villain is just a 3/6 with a death effect, and a Sly Doppelganger, which for the villain is just a 2/2. That seems fine. I'm going to draw the Mountain Troll and leave the Sly Doppelganger on top. And then I will pass the turn. And Byzantus is going to draw a Sly Doppelganger. It's just a 2/2. So, for the Necromancer, at the battle line phase, there is not a minion for it to resurrect. And then, because they have a collective 4 strength, they can't kill my 6 health Mountain Troll. They're just going to attack my face for 4. And then, these are... Oh, wait! I might have even overthought this. This says... Wait, where's the objective here? Let's see. Beyond Fate, Byzantus cannot be damaged. To defeat him, you must have all 4 dominated summoners ready. Oh, in your play area at the start of your turn. Okay, so because you ready at the end of your turn, I was wondering briefly whether I had overthought it and had already won. But no, it had to be the start of my turn. That said, there they are. At the end of the villain turn, these ready. It passes to me. I draw a card. Doesn't really matter what it is. I've done it. Wow, that was a fun little puzzle. I enjoyed that. And just like I mentioned on the Aurora playthrough, there are some legacy packs to open if you meet certain objectives. I do not know off the top of my head what they were because I didn't plan to spoil those on camera. Then if you win a game using the contents of those, which twists this scenario some, then you unlock the villain's faded form, And that is kind of the hardest, most complex version of the villain's scenario. And if you beat that, well, with the other villains, that's when you advanced to the next one, if you didn't cheat like me and just open it. But on this one, I guess it means you like win Deck of Wonders, right? At that point, you've beaten all the content if you've made it this far. Cool. So certainly there would be some more wrinkles there, but I really enjoyed that. I think I was disappointed when I played against Aurora to win the first time in what was a pretty straightforward battle of a lot of direct damage, but this, like, at least it was anything but straightforward. It was very fun to figure out the route to victory here and pull it off. Wow. Okay, I kind of wonder if Cullen, the simplest and first villain, is actually the hardest, because I find my win rate is very low against Cullen, and then first try beat Aurora and Byzantus. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to play these some more, get their legacy packs open, see if they present more of a challenge to me. Well, see if they do. That's sort of the whole point. They will. As you open their envelopes, it mostly makes the scenario harder and more complicated. So I'm excited to get to those on my own time, but I'm going to call that a video. So the reprint and expansion to Deck of Wonders are on crowdfunding. That was the Master of Treasures expansion. And I know I'm looking forward to playing more of this, getting into those packs, and also to playing more games on the channel soon. I've been midway in a campaign of Under Falling Skies, which is one of my favorite solo games. I've been dabbling off camera with Mage Knight for the first time. Might do some playthroughs of that once I establish some comfort level with that game, which is one of the more complicated, particularly for a solo game, one of the more complex game systems I've played. So if any of that sounds interesting, or you just want to support the channel, please make sure to subscribe, hit the like button on this video. We really appreciate it. And I'll be back soon with friends for some games, solo for others. Till then, be optimal.